Now they want to act like I did no good. Funny because I really did more than I could. Anyways, y'all, I look a little bit rough today, okay? But I don't care, you know? I feel like for my channel, I want to show up how I want to show up. And I literally just came back from nature. I came back from being from outside. And if I look like this, then I look like this and I don't care. If I look like a bump to you, then that's what it is. That's what's up. Like, no, I'm playing. I could use. In this video, we will be speaking on the importance of disappointing your parents. Okay, like, one thing about me, if you don't know me personally, but I'm a person that I'm the youngest out of three, y'all, and I do not care about being the rebel. I do not care about, you know, I wasn't never really the bad kid, but like, one thing about me, I'm gonna listen to my gut, and if it's telling me to do something that probably it doesn't make sense to my parents, then I don't care. You know, like for example, the topic about college, like, it sucks, and I hate when I had friends who told me, yeah, well, I really need to go to college because my parents, or I'm staying with my parents, and like, you know, I want to make my parents proud and this and that. I'm like, your parents lived their own life, are having their own human experience, and they shouldn't project that experience onto you, you know? Do things that are genuine to your soul and your spirit, and that is part of not betraying yourself. So when it came to me going to college, I went to college for a few a few years. Girl, it was only like what, freshman and sophomore. And after that, I went through a very traumatic event in my life, and I stopped. But I went to college for, I think I was gonna major on psychology because I love learning about the mind. You know, it's crazy that my path that God put me on has a lot to do with mental health and your mindset and how your mind creates your reality, or your mind impacts your reality. But I went because I felt like I was interested, you know. But it was never like, oh, my parents, I had to do it for them. Like, you know, they want to see, you know, their kid, you know, they want to be proud. F that. Like, I'm always gonna go against something, especially if it's just to make another person happy and proud. I'm like, I oppose that so much. And if you're going through that in your life, where you're about to make a decision in your life, like, you're dealing with family or your parents mainly that are like on you, and it's like, I'm like, I really want to do this, but like, I also want to listen to my parents. Listen to yourself, listen to your gut. You're the one living this life, okay? You're the one in your own reality, and let yourself suffer the consequences and have experiences that are not bound to or tied back to your parents. So the number one thing, especially if you're in the season of your life like I am, which is reconnecting back with my inner child and healing my inner child, it is going to be to stop people pleasing your parents, okay? And when it came to me doing shadow work on this, y'all, I cried. I really, really cried. I grew up with both of my parents, my dad and my mom. And I think when it came to me and people pleasing, it was more of like me being vocal about my needs and myself. And with my parents or growing up, I grew up like, now I know that, like, I've been abandoning myself, okay? Like, the way that I grew up, it's like, I thank God for my mom, how she raised me, and my dad. Like, I have good parents, you know. Of course, they're not perfect. They had their own stuff they needed to heal, right? And some things, of course, they're gonna pass it on to you, the things that they haven't healed. and you're the one who has to be conscious and heal it, choose to heal it. And for me, it was not abandoning myself. Like, I feel like a lot of my family members, like, they're so used to like really abandoning themselves, abandoning like their passions, their goals, their dreams, in order to please society, in order to please other family members, their parents. And I'm like, I'm not on that wave, y'all. I came here to do the opposite. I came here to rebel against it. I came here to be a disruptor. A lot of us are disruptors in our family, in our lineage. And we have to get comfortable with stop the people pleasing, okay? And the reason why sometimes you feel like you want to people please society, it is because the inner child within you wanted approval and validation from your parents. It always goes back to your inner child. It always goes back to your childhood, okay? And I feel like that explains it, because when you are a child, you, first of all, you're not programmed by anyone, but you're only, as a child, you're in your true essence, right? You're more pure, right? You're more in your, I feel like, connected to the divine the most. You're very childlike, and the only people that will really influence you is your caretakers and your parents. And that's where also you become aware of the attachment styles, anxious attachment, avoidant, push and pull kind of thing. I will speak on attachment styles in another video, because I feel like that is also a good topic to to know more about. But especially for, like I said, for us that are taking the time and are being called to reconnect to the inner child and tend back to ourselves and stop abandoning our needs, we need to drop the people pleasing habits, okay? And like I said, our parents are the first people who we really wanted to please, right? And with me, since my life has been so different and very odd and even weird and strange, and I've been through things that, you know, I feel like it has left my family, who's witnessed some things, some seasons that I've been through, like, we need to pray for her. We need to, like, she needs some prayers. Like, what is going on, you know? I had to get comfortable with my life not being the way that I thought it would be. A lot of surrendering, a lot of letting go, a lot of feeling uncomfortable, a lot of dying to self, a lot of letting go of false identities, integrating the ego and all those things. But once you get to the point where, you know what, Mom, you know what, Dad, I don't care if you guys are not proud of me. I'm going to speak with my inner child, and I'm going to tell it, you know what, I am proud of you. I am proud of you for surviving the things that no one saw. And I'm proud of you for handling the things that, you know, were passed down from your parents onto you, and doing the best that you could do. Because sometimes the way maybe your parents would speak to you, I don't know if y'all seen that. I think a lot of us have seen that post of, like, there's this mom or the grandma, and then your mom, and then you, and then, or it was the mom, it was the grandma, or like the mom's grandma, and then your mom. Wait, it was the mom's grandma, and then your grandma, and then your mom, and then there's you. And you have to change the dialogue of what has been passed down. Okay? So learning to speak to yourself differently. That's why they speak on reprogramming your mind a lot. You know, changing your self-concept. I feel like personally for me, I got in my worst, like me being my biggest critic of myself has been definitely from my mom. My mom is a person who she is very, a very, a very willing human being. Okay, my mom is very resilient, but I feel like sometimes the way that she can be so hard on herself, even though she hasn't said it. But I be knowing because I read energy, and I feel like she doesn't like. I kind of like I'm not satisfied. Like I can't do better. Like I'm not satisfied, or kind of like that perfectionism kind of aspect. You know, I feel like my mom is more of like a perfectionist when it comes to dealing with life and reality, and then for my dad it's more so like my dad is more like emotions. I need to be on go, like, you know, the usual masculinity that we see, that is like emotions. Yeah, I need to put in the work, I need to work. Yeah, this happened, okay, cool, let's just work, let's just. And it's good, but you have to have that balance with your feminine. It's good, but you have to have that balance with your feminine side and be like, hey, I need to tend to these emotions. I cannot just avoid them. You know, it's good that I want to work, but it's like, and I want to take action. I don't want to stay in the void for too long, but also having that balance of like, I need to tend to those emotions, or else I will suppress them and then I become an avoidant. That's a couple things that I had to learn. And like I said, once you quit the I need to make my parents proud, or what do my parents think, or I still care about how they view me, or like people pleasing them, because we worry about what the strangers think of us, and it's like, do you really care what a stranger would think of you? Like, they don't even really know you. I'm like, they do not even know you. That shit really came from you seeking that, your inner child seeking that from wanting, like I said in the beginning, approval from your own parents. And once you stop that, y'all, and you do your shadow work on that, you release that emotion, release all those feelings that you have in regards to your parents, you will really feel a shift within you. You will feel like you're getting closer to your authentic self. That's how I felt in regards to me healing that side when I went through literally a couple weeks ago. I don't know, we were like going through a retrograde. I wasn't really checking the astrological events, but I feel like, wow, that wanting to be strong, wanting to be seem as strong, like I'm the most vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable person within my family. Okay. Like I was called the crybaby when I was young. I would cry about a lot of things. Okay. But the more I honor that part of me, and the more I'm like, you know what? Yes, I am a crybaby sometimes. Yes, I do feel deeply. No, I don't care if, you know, you cannot deal with these emotions that I have. Just let me have them at least. Do not shame me. Do not make me feel guilty. And do not make me suppress them. Do not make me feel like I'm being overly sensitive for them. Like I'm allowed to have these emotions. When you start to honor yourself and respect that part of you, and putting aside, well, my parents didn't know how to handle my emotions. With my parents, I felt so sensitive, like, because that was me, you know. I felt like my parents or my family didn't really know how to really handle my emotions, which they would make it seem like, oh, she's being too sensitive. And then when I grew up, as I started to grow up, that's when I felt like, oh, maybe I am sensitive. Maybe I need to suppress them. Maybe I need to hide this part of myself. Maybe I need to be looked at as a different way. When I started to let go of that thinking, that thought pattern, I don't know why I'm doing like FT tapping. When I started to let go of that, it's like I'm feeling more free, you know. And like I said, the healing journey is not a linear kind of thing, but when you're feeling those triggers, feel them, y'all. I look like I literally cut my hair, and I didn't really even cut my hair. But why don't we do a collective carpool, y'all? Don't go crying to your mama. To your mama. Oh my god. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I just pulled out this card. It says it says learn from your past, okay? Stop clinging on to the past. Whatever happened a couple minutes ago, whatever happens a few hours ago happened, okay? Good or bad, it was an experience. Learn to integrate it and just move on. That was a good card pull, actually. I feel like it resonated, especially with me. But anyways, y'all, hope you guys like this video and follow my other social media accounts below. And I'll see you guys on my next